Every second of every day, there are 3 new mouths in this world to feed. Hundreds of millions more by the year 2000. And the majority of them will be born in countries where malnutrition is already reaching alarming proportions. Right now, the world has the food and the resources to conquer hunger. But it won't happen as long as we continue to look the other way. ADM, supermarket to the world.
Does the sun feel rejection? Does the wind sense failure? Does the rain experience frustration? Thousands of Lexus engineers and designers make sure they do. For a long, long time. Lexus, always a step beyond.
The event is a canoe-kayak slalom race. We built an entire new river in the middle of wilderness. No water, no electricity. Xerox has produced these documents. The large format documents showed all the elements on it. We're all working on the computers, so when we come out here, all the plans come together on the wide format documents. When the water was released, it's awesome. The athletes are just ecstatic. They take the same site plan, get down to the river, and see how they're going to take that turn around that game.
Xerox and the Olympic Games, a simpler way to do good work.
No matter how you try to squeeze it out or pour it out, you can never get the fat out of sausage. Try all vegetable breakfast links from Green Giant with 81% less fat than pork sausage, so you get the flavor, not all the fat.
Meet the Press is sponsored by the Archer-Daniels-Midland Company. ADM, supermarket to the world.
There's a race going on in this country, and the stakes are high. It's a race to save one of America's most precious resources, our topsoil, from a disaster that could ultimately threaten the survival of our civilization. In just 100 years of deep plowing, half the topsoil in much of our most productive farmland has been blown or washed away, severely threatening our ability to grow the food we need. Today's farmers are gearing up for the race by turning from deep plowing to an innovative practice that reduces soil erosion as much as 92%. It's called no-till, and compared to conventional plowing, it saves labor, time, and fuel while preserving water quality and helping protect the environment. By adopting such practices now, we can save our topsoil for countless generations to come. And thanks to the American farmer, we're gaining ground every day.
It's never been done before. We looked at the Olympics as if it were a business.
We've analyzed every document and created a master inventory of every document that runs the games.
We've identified some groups that are essential to building this database,
And we had to do it quick.
it takes over 2,000 publications to run the Olympics.
We put millions of documents,
Millions of images
on optical disc.
Now we have an archive, and we can share that with the next Olympic Games. We hope that we can hand off a true legacy.
Xerox and the Olympic Games, a simpler way to do good work.
Does steel have a conscience? Does paint have emotion? Does wood have a soul? Thousands of Lexus engineers and designers make sure they do. It's called human touch engineering. Another reason Lexus is always a step beyond.
Yes, I have a question about the GE-8 locomotive. If I wanted to engage
the cold water tap into the ice maker, do I first
twist the head 16 degrees counterclockwise to allow
enough light for people to see Giovanni Marchesi sing like
a large elephant stuck in a dishwasher?
GE has a simple answer to some tough questions. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. One call is all it takes.
Wonderful.
Terrific.
Excellent.
Cool.
Cook up hamburger and you get a whole lot of something you don't even want. Try all vegetable harvest burgers from Green Giant. They've got far less fat than hamburger, so you get the flavor without all the fat.
This week on Today, sleep, your children, and your bed. Who's in control? Plus, the miracles of hip replacement surgery and Martha Stewart. See what a difference Today makes this week.
Doctors took something from this baby and saved it. Years from now, it could save his life. An extraordinary discovery that could help your child. Don't miss Health Watch, NBC Nightly News Monday.
See why Sharon Stone and Isabel Ajani are adding up to double trouble.
It's funny, it's thrilling, it's chilling.
This weekend on Extra.
Tonight at 6.
Room 518 wants to give a speech that brings his company back to life.
Good morning. I had a speech written, but I think it's better I speak to you from my heart.
Marriott, when you're comfortable, you can do anything.
We teach children that their actions have consequences. If it's your fault, you're responsible. But Proposition 200 says there's no fault for reckless drivers. They're not responsible. Prop 201 says stock swindlers are not responsible. 202 says polluters and manufacturers of defective products aren't responsible. And by stopping contingent fee attorney protection, consumers won't even have a chance. No fault, no responsibility. It's just not right. Vote no on the terrible 200s.
Today in LA Weekend. This morning at 8.
Meet the Press is sponsored by GE. From aircraft engines to appliances, we bring good things to life.
This is my amazing GE Profile Dishwasher. It's got this computerized brain, which makes it unbelievably smart.
Ah, there you are.
It knows how long to wash your dishes.
Ravioli again.
Because it analyzes how dirty the water is.
Child's play, really.
So it won't waste water, energy, or money while getting your dishes brilliantly clean.
All you need is a brain.
If you're so smart, how come you're doing the dishes?
I hate when she does that.
The GE Profile Dishwasher. It's got a mind of its own.
What are you looking at?
Chemistry is the practice of magic. People think of Teflon and they think of frying pans. Teflon is not one thing. Teflon is a chain lube. This is something I've come up with for bicycles. You know, only DuPont makes Teflon. You can use it in satellites, on fabrics, or leather. When's the last time you heard about a leather raincoat? You can let your imagination run wild. It's not often that you get to make something new in this world.
Better things for better living. DuPont.
Todd and Celia Unger began their voyage together nearly 40 years ago. Today, they embark on retirement as carefree as when they first set out. That's because for the past 20-some years, they've worked with a broker from Dean Witter.
Respect the power of a client's dream and help them achieve it.
At Dean Witter,
we measure success one investor at a time.
Every time you make a long-distance call, AT&T sends out a signal to check the quality of the line, automatically routing around trouble before you've even finished dialing. Because at AT&T, we don't just say your calls get through. We guarantee it.
Linda, I'd like to bounce an idea off you.
AT&T, for the life of your business.
This GE compact fluorescent bulb gives you soft, warm light.
Take the ball, Jamie.
It's an energy-efficient bulb that lasts year after year.
Hit the ball, Jamie.
Up to 9,000 hours longer than an ordinary bulb.
Outside with the ball, Jamie.
So it won't need to be changed for about 7 years.
Hey, Jamie, how many grown-ups says it takes to change a light bulb? Change a light bulb? Why would anybody need to change a light bulb?
The revolutionary GE compact fluorescent bulb.
To you, it looks like this. To a car thief, it looks like this. And to our Ford Motor Company engineers, it looks like one of the most powerful anti-theft devices ever. Only this key sends an electronic code to the engine before it will ever start. So it looks like your new Taurus will be just where you parked it. Ford, quality is job one.
The day before our big trip, Frank announced we had to stay at hotel chains.
Are you serious, Frank?
Absolutely not, Frank.
No way, Frank. We expected boring cookie-cutter hotels courtesy of Frank's new budget. But ITT Sheraton was no ordinary hotel chain. But we decided not to tell Frank that.
It's grueling, Frank.
It's a tough job, Frank, but somebody's got to do it.
ITT Sheraton. Our world revolves around you.
They were really growing up fast. Too fast. All Kelly talked about was going to high school, and all I could think about was paying for college. Sure, I played around with a few mutual funds, but I was no expert. So I started talking to someone who could help. A broker at Dean Witter.
We must plan for our clients' future as if it were our own.
Funny. Kids think their parents always have the right answers. I'm just making sure I do.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
If you're with a man who abuses you, get help. Show him you love and respect yourself.